What's up and welcome back to Unfiltered and Real. Let me tell you guys, a lot has happened. A lot has changed. I'm your host, Jalen Benjamin, to start off. Chris, you want to introduce yourself?
Introduce. They already know who I
We
am.
may have some new people, a new season, new us.
It is a new us.
Why do I have scissors, y'all?
It's
It's so weird actually having visuals now. Like, I think I'm going to forget there's a camera there, for one.
probably like all the time.
And then for two, like I'm gonna forget. Like I used to do so many things. Like when it wasn't. Can you not sing?
It's hard.
Can we start this season right and not go back and forth this season, guys? Let me tell you guys, we have a lot to catch up on. First things first is we changed the name of the podcast. It's no longer Unfiltered and Real, and the new name is the Legacy Podcast. You guys are obviously seeing it because on YouTube, or if you're subscribed to us on anything that you listen to your podcast on, you can literally see it anywhere. It says Legacy Podcast with Jalen, tyvon, and Chris. That's another thing. This is my first time introducing myself as Jalen tyvon. Like I haven't officially done it yet, and now it's that time. So much has happened. Let's rewind back to our last episode, the summer.
Did we let them know we were moving?
Yeah, we did. We moved. We're in Atlanta. That's another thing.
We moved. We got jobs. We're adults now. We're financially not stable, but we struggling. Shit.
Oh my gosh. I think, and we're gonna get into everything like that, and you know what you just learn because you're just never ready for a move. Like life has taught me so much in this last 2 months about moving and thinking you're prepared. I got water falling fresh out the shower, y'all. You just think you're so prepared, and then life hits you, and it's like bills. No, like you are not ready yet. But let's go back, rewind. We moved. But before all that happened, my documentary came out, and I don't think I can be any more proud of what we accomplished and what we were able to do, me and my team, while being in COVID and shooting a documentary for a year straight. It was a lot of work, and I'm proud of myself. But Chris, as a viewer, how did you feel watching that documentary back and also being a part of it? How did you feel with everything that was said?
Well, I'm angry, with being a part of it. I didn't get my cuts and my payments and my percentages. Like we talked about the podcast. No, I told him I wanted my cut. If he was going to be dogging me out, I wanted my cut. I still ain't see that to this day. It was a cool documentary. I liked it. It was Jalen telling him story. What was it like? What was the timeline like? High school through?
It was from my high school life up until now. So it was like, well, not now, but present day. Like the only change I made to, it was like up until February of last year. That was like the time frame of everything. So that was that. It was such a great experience, and I'm lucky enough to still have one more documentary that I have to give to them. But I was telling a lot of people recently that I just want to keep going on and on every couple of years, every year, be able to do that and just let you guys seen the first one, and it was good for what it was, but like I actually want a videographer. I want people to follow around, let my story be seen. It was so hard to do it that first time around because, and it's not that I couldn't get a videographer. It was very easy. I had so many people. My team had got in contact with so many people, but in the era of COVID, I didn't want everybody in my house for one, and I wasn't really going nowhere for two. I was just work, and so but now that life has changed so much, and I'm on my own, living in my own apartment, working, paying bills, enjoying life. I just thought for me that a videographer this time around would be very cool. And I cannot wait to, get to tell my story this time around. And my story this time around is very different from the first one. This one is more of like my work ethic and what a year is like in my life. And, so I cannot wait for that and so much. But life has my birthday. I turned 20 since the last time we've talked. I turned 20. I had an amazing birthday trip. It was so nice just to be around all my family one last time before moving. And I'm at this place now in life where it's like I know that, I'm grown. I know I'm an adult, and I know that my family's not going to be there every step of the way, and that was like my really last time of being around them like that. I'm not in Florida anymore. I'm in a whole nother state. And even if I were to ever go back to Florida, it just would never be something where like I'm in your face every day anymore.
Yeah.
Like life has changed and I'm evolved. And so it was like a good farewell to my family. And it was so fun. Chris, you were there, all my cousins. It was fun to just enjoy time, do cool excursions, be in the pool, like just hanging out, talking, having authentic conversations. And you know what's funny is I think a lot of people think that, we just get on this podcast and we have these conversations here, but in our everyday lives, we have real life conversations. And I think that's one thing that's so true to our friendship is that no matter what, we always remember that life is happening. Life continues to happen and you can't stop it from happening. You have to understand, roll with the punches and move on. And that is exactly what Atlanta has taught me. And so now we're here and life has been so crazy, but so amazing at the same time. I've met so many wonderful people, and literally, I can't wait. Throughout the whole season, you'll get to see so many of them. You'll get to see people from back home. This is another thing, guys. I've promised guests for so long.
Yeah.
But now, we are at the point where it's like, everybody, when can I come on? When can I do this? When can I'm like, hold on, guys. Like, can I welcome back to the Legacy Podcast? Like, it's so crazy because, and we were just talking about this earlier, but everybody we've met come from different walks of life and they're all authentically themselves. And life in Atlanta is very interesting, but it's so much fun because every day you just never know what you're going to get into.
Literally, like we could wake up one day and have nothing planned, and then like friend calls us up, hey, y'all trying to do this or trying to do that, go do it. And even if like, you could wake up every day, go somewhere, meet new people, do something new with a whole new group of people, and just like have fun and live life.
It's so fun, like just waking up and getting the experience thing, getting to host like little kickbacks at the house and everybody being here and, us ordering pizza, hanging out, taking shots. Like it's just the life of it all. And really being in life right now and enjoying it is one of my favorite things. And, I just can't wait to see what the rest of this year brings us to. So I think that's our catch up to now. A lot, has happened, but life is still going. And I think we still have so much more to tell you guys. And when the time is right, everything will be said. But we're going to move on along to our quote. And this quote, it's one of my favorite quotes. I said it on this show so many times, and I have it back at home. It's hanging up in my room. But this quote literally is something that I live by. And it's, don't let your loyalty turn into slavery. If they don't appreciate what you bring to the table, then let them eat alone. And for me, February, a lot of changes happened in my life. And that was, you guys all know that whole story. And coming back from Chris's birthday trip, a lot of things changed for me then. And from then to now, so much has happened. So much. And it's just made me, and I've looked at this quote, and when it came time to try to pick something to put on my iPad for my lock screen, I was like, I want something that represents me. And this quote is something that I live by because I've given so much of myself to people. And I think, that's something that we both have. We've given so much, and we've just always been true to ourselves and who we are as individuals, taking, oh my gosh, this is what happens when it's visuals and it's live. Stuff falls off the wall. Oh my God, we'll get into that later. But guys, it's just been a joy to, live with you every day and understand and grow and know that it's more to life. And when you surround yourself around these type of people and you surround yourself where loyalty is given back and you understand and you're able to disagree but still come to a conclusion, that's loyalty. There's so many people out there where you just give and give, and they just continue to stab you in your back. And you see a lot of people's true colors. So to me, this quote is a staple to me. And, that's how I feel about it, Chris. Me and Chris had a long talk about him in these quotes this season. He is going to get better. Y'all see my water? Oh, y'all see my water bottle?
Where my water bottle at? Oh, it's so far away. Why can't I grab it? I want to see how I look though in this camera.
Y'all also hear my like drinking and stuff.
I hope they
my
don't.
Water bottle.
I'm turning this into an ASMR.
Continue. Oh my gosh, Chris, we don't have all day.
It's not that. It's not that. It's not that.
You know, and
That
this is
quote.
something that
It's
before you go, you know, this is something that I want to tell you guys. And the name may have been changed, and we no longer may be called Unfiltered and Relevant. We're gonna get into that a little later why we changed the name. But guys, one thing I want to remember is that this is our platform. This is our show. And we've built something that's lasted 4 seasons, still going strong. Still, you guys are listening. And the reason why I keep coming back is because every season, like, I just don't care more. Like, I just say what comes to my mind. Like, there's season 1, there was something holding back 2. Get in there, but a little more. Now being season 4, I honestly just don't care what comes out of my mouth. And I'm not filtering myself anymore because this show was given to me to be able to talk to people, be able to let somebody relate to me and understand that somewhere in the world, there is one person that's going through the same exact thing that you're going through or going to go through it or has went through it and still hasn't found out how to get over that hump. And that's why I love this show, and that's why I really love diving deep into fam talks and quotes and all of that. So, but I'm sorry to keep you. You can go ahead.
Let me just read this quote for these people again. You know.
Oh my gosh, all that feedback from the mic.
Listen, don't let your loyalty, don't let your loyalty become slavery. If they don't appreciate what you bring to the table, let them eat alone. And that is true, you know, and what it says. I think like don't let like if nobody, whether it's a friend, family member, or you know, whoever you're with, don't let them like your loyalty turn into slavery. And if they want to eat alone, then let them eat alone. If they don't appreciate you, how you come or who you are with your flaws and not, and shit, they could go ahead and eat alone. I'll be chilling over here eating by myself, too, getting full.
I think that was a great way to put it, and I really appreciate you giving a little insight onto that. Now, oh my gosh, now, guys, a lot of things have changed, but one person who hasn't changed and continues to remain the same no matter what you say about him is Lil Nas. In the closeout fam talk today, I really want to give him this spotlight role because he carried this summer on his back. When I tell you, no matter what was said about him, no matter what people may have thought or their problems, he still remained true to himself and came out on top victorious and just recently debuted his debut album and doing wonderful on the charts. This is somebody that every time somebody tries to knock him down, he gets right back up. I don't even know where to start. Let's go all the way back to the BET Awards in June. You know, that moment where he kissed a man on stage when everybody was freaking out for a moment for me, it was like, okay, this is you. You are not testing the boundaries. You're showing people that this is me, this is who I'm gonna be, and I'm not gonna change for anybody out there. And that kiss was almost, to me, it was like a try me. And that's what it came off on. Chris, you wanna say something?
I think Lil Nas mastered 6ix9ine. Like I think he mastered trolling people and getting under their skin and just like not caring at the same time. Because like everything he's done, there's been a reaction and we've seen it. And it's like, all right, whether it's from celebrities who we want to hear it from or not, there's been a reaction from both sides, whether loving it, supporting it, Boosie. I still love me some Boosie. You know, Jalen don't do no Boosie, but I still do me some Boosie. I grew up off Boosie, Grandpa Boost. But, you know, it's just, I think a lot of it is just double standards. Because, like, when he did, like, the whole blood in the shoes thing, Tony Hawk did a whole little blood skateboard or blood grip tape or whatever he did with his skateboards and the human blood. But the backlash wasn't the same. Like,
but see, that's what I want to get into because how is it that everything that Lil Nas does, there's an issue? And it's definitely because of his sexuality. Because at the end of the day, you have Cardi and Megan performing WAP on the stage. And just because Boosie himself said, that's an issue for me too, just like it is for Lil Nas. But the problem is that nobody was talking about it when they did it. Nobody was saying their frustrations when they did it. But when a Black gay man does it, it's a problem. Because when WAP came out, everybody doing it all over TikTok, all down the hallways, classrooms, jobs, hospitals, everywhere. Like, and this is what I'm saying, and this is what really pisses me off, because it's to the point where it's not even the person that they're mad at. It's the sexuality that they're mad at. Because it's clear as day, everybody can say, oh, it's not that, it's not that, it's not that. But if it wasn't that, then you would vocalize how you felt when these other people were doing it. Because women's been doing it for years. And, you know, it was a comment made here the other day. Our friend was here, and she was like, she don't like rap, like female raps. And her and Chris was agreeing all this, how female raps, all they do is talk about their, you know, private areas and what they're going to do to somebody, which 9 out of 10 of them do. But at the same time, it's like for years they've been doing this, but it hasn't been called out. It hasn't been an issue. But the moment a man says what he wants to do to another man, it's an issue, and you feel desensitized or you feel emasculated.
It's like the three X's. It's just like, okay, the first one being black, you know, the second one being gay. Black and gay don't mix, and then being black, gay in the hip hop industry don't. All three of them is 3 strikes you're out. Versus, you know, we have people like in different music industries, and it's really just like the fans and the culture of different genres. Like when you look at, you know, what would you put Sam Smith in?
Sam Smith is definitely a pop artist.
Pop. So you're gonna put Sam in pop. You know, we have gay artists. Is like shit.
But it's our people, and that's what I want to say. It's our people, and it's the same thing why it's hard for a black man or woman to come home and say, I'm attracted to the same sex. It's the same reason, because you're taught that this is the way to live. If you do anything else, it's wrong. And even if it's not that you're taught that, or you grow up and you feel like that, people automatically want to bash you, go against you. And it's like, that's not fair. We've had people for centuries, years, doing this, liking the same sex, being this way, living this type of lifestyle. But for some reason, I feel like within the last 2 years, the hate has been heightened. You know, just as, because within the last 2 years, I feel like we've gotten more accepting of, you know, not me personally, because I've always been accepting, but the world has gotten more accepting of their lifestyles. But just as the world has been getting more accepting, it's also like it's been getting more hateful towards them too. It's like when you give a little, they're also taking some right back. So it's kind of
I could get the frustrations and whatnot, and I could get it, but like the gay community is literally like, Jalen won't probably tell y'all, but we went. So we went to a friend's show to support.
Oh yeah, we went to Brandon's show.
So we went to a friend's show to support. We didn't know where it was going to be at or what type of people were going to be in there. We get in there, and I believe like the whole alphabet was up in there, you know, and it's like
not the whole alphabet.
The whole alphabet was in there, and it was like, you know, you're standing next to these people, and you just, and like you could see it. And I'm a person, like, I care for all people, any types of people. We are the same, no matter this race, color, your hair, nothing. We all breathe, bleed the same. So, you know, being next to these people, like, you're like, all right, these people just like anybody else. I don't see the hate. I don't see, religious or not, whatever those people do, that's whatever they do and they choose to do. And it's like some of the frustrations maybe straight people get is, oh, we don't know what to call them, or we don't know what it's whatever. But at the end of the day, we are the same people. In the hate for it, it's like, don't you got a life? Don't you got bills to pay?
Right.
If you, and just how straight artists want to say it, like, I'm not a role model, or I ain't choose to be a role model. Whatever your kids do, get your kids. Same argument for Lil Nas. If Lil Nas out there busting it on the stage or kissing whoever you want to see, and you don't want your kids to watch that, then put the little restrictions on the TV channel, put it on the YouTube.
It's gotten to a point, and it's just like on this show, like, I'm not responsible for who watches this. I'm going to talk what I want to talk and say what I want to say. And I dare somebody, people have DM'd and said so many things about us, but it comes to the point where, like, I don't care.
I want to read them.
I don't care.
I'll give them a little shout
out. Somebody, we were reading our comments. Well, I wasn't reading. Chris was reading the comments on Apple Podcasts, and somebody made a little comment, because Chris don't ever know what be going on. But it's just like, if we said something every time somebody said something, we would not we wouldn't be able to actually do this job and do it effectively. But Vulture wrote an article on Lil Nas, and I'm going to read a little bit of it. We're going to talk on it, and then we're going to move on. I spent a good amount of time in the last 6 months wondering why Lil Nas X pays any attention to haters and homophobes online. It's a goofy question. I already know the answer. When you're queer and comfortable in your skin, you are scrambling somebody's circuits, someone who grew up believing gay meant weak or bad, who has trouble accepting your lifestyle because you've been socialized into believing you have to choose to reject a holy natural order of cisgender heterosexual love and procreation. I was like, not procrastination. Maybe you grew up this way too. The thing we were taught to avoid, you spent your entire life demasculating the logic that tells you you're not okay, only to bump heads when people who haven't had or wanted to do the work. You go toe to toe with these people because they need to be challenged and you need to be affirmed because there's a kid like you somewhere who deserves to know they can fight back. You know, and that just speaks on to everything I said earlier today. And this was the first time, excuse me, guys, this was the first time that I actually read this article. And it just makes me feel so appreciative that there is people out there that do see it like this and that aren't just picking on him and beating him down and that sees the light of the hip hop industry. And this is the problem with the hip hop industry. And this is why enough people aren't going to last in the hip hop industry because they want to tell somebody what hip hop means. And they want to tell somebody this is how it's supposed to be done. There's no rule book on any of this. There's no rule book on being a celebrity. There's no rule book on being an artist. There's no rule book on being a host. Like, you can't tell somebody how to do a job. You either have it or you don't. And talent is not based off sexuality. I'm sorry. And people can say whatever they want to say. They don't like his music, all that. But
no. First off, if anyone says they don't like his music, they lying. Because when he was in the closet and Old Town Road came out, I guarantee everybody was losing their mind. Well, I'm telling you, like shit. That moment that little song come on and everyone rocked with it. Like it was clearly everyone rocked with it because I was on the #1 for a few weeks. It was fucking longer than what Lauryn Hill or some other. Who was it?
Mariah Carey.
Mariah Carey.
All I Want for Christmas. You know, there's just so much that we could get into with this topic. If we had the time, trust me, Lil Nas, I wonder if you ever watched this. If this clip ever gets out and you want to zoom into the Legacy podcast, my Instagram is Jalen, tyvon, DM me, all that stuff, and we'll get you on here. Moving on, guys, we have a new segment this season, and it's Unfiltered or Not. Unfiltered or Not is a segment that is going to keep us on our toes and never know what's coming up and face real life questions. Now, today I forgot some of my questions. I've actually forgot. I wrote 5 questions now, y'all. I have all my other ones that are just not written down, but they're still in the room. But we're going to go off Chris's questions. Eventually, we're going to have a fishbowl here, and this is what they'll be in, but we'll look ghetto today, so we got to play this back. Give me a second. Just give me 1 second.
They could hear all of that. Oh, my God.
Okay, so we going to shake this up real quick. Get a good shake.
This is so ghetto.
Okay, so we're all picking 2 questions. Okay.
Damn near, they all going to be mine. You only threw 5 little ones up in there.
I didn't throw mine in here at all yet.
So look at that.
Okay, we're going to stop talking junk, and you can just set that on the floor right next to you guys. I'm going to go first since I'm ready. So, great question. Oh, great questions. Perfect ideal soulmate. Oh my God. I think
and I mean, like, when I say idea, I mean like down to the ethnicity, the characteristics, everything.
My perfect ideal soulmate is honestly somebody that I can have fun with in life, enjoy life with. Neither of us are like working like a 9 to 5 under somebody. We have our own business, own stuff going on. Somebody that accepts me for every part of me. I've always wanted mixed kids. And so the fact that I want mixed kids, and I love Black women, and this is a topic that I know that can go so many different ways. But I love Black women. I am attracted to Black women. But every female like that I've almost talked to has been Hispanic or like just white. So I feel like that's what I'm gonna end up with. I've talked to two, three Black women my whole life. So I mean, it could go either or. So I'm not really putting like a preference on that, but like race or anything. But I do want mixed kids, and that's something I wanted my whole life. Um, so that's that. And yeah, so my ideal soulmate is just full of life, fun, doesn't take anything too seriously, lives life one day at a time, and just, enjoys it. I'll let Chris answer his first one, and then we'll go to our next ones.
Um, my first question is greatest fear.
Mm.
I think my greatest fear, shit. Mm, 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 mm. Imagine you like, I don't know, like I got two. Like, see, like death is number one.
Mm-hmm.
But like, imagine if you're like deep underwater, like deep, 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 deep underwater, and it's just like nothing but you see is an abyss, and it's just like anything could swim up on the side of you, or like if you get deep enough, shit, you might not see nothing, and everything could just see you over there.
I actually want to answer this question too, Chris's question that he had. I wanted to answer that too because mine is not like nothing like life or death. And I know mine, a lot of people out there have the same fear and stuff like this. But my fear is honestly abandonment. Like I just always fear that I'm gonna be like left alone. Not like relationship, nothing like that. But like friendship, family. Like I just feel like I give so much to people, and I really do. And I have a big heart. Like some people may look at me and say I'm mean and all that, but like underneath it all, and like if you really know me, I have such a big heart. So I have fear of being just like left alone by like friends and family.
I used to feel that way, and so like I kind of you know what I'm gonna say.
Mm-hmm.
You know when people like just show you like everyone who comes in your life, they just up and leave and stuff like that. And it's like I used to feel that way too, but then it was just like
used to feel like it was my fault. Like I used to, and then I really looked at it, and not saying because I think every bad relationship, friendship, anything, in like it takes two to tango, but I've just learned that sometimes people can't, and I actually learned this with Chris, is that sometimes your loyalty is too much for another person to reciprocate. Like, and it's different standards of trust, different standards of loyalty. And like some, like I used to look at things, and I still do to this day. Loyalty is number one, trust is number one for me. And like if you cannot meet those qualifications, I just learned like there's no need for me to even entertain it. Like there's nothing there for us to even talk about. And that has actually helped me within the past, probably within this last year too, really just weed out the people that I don't want in my life, because it's like if you can't give me those simple things that I'm asking for that should literally be in everything, the loyalty and the trust, then there's nothing for us to talk about, because we can work on everything else. Like, but loyalty and trust is really big for me. And I've learned family, friends, whoever it is, sometimes they can't give that to you. So, and that literally takes me into my next question. You want to say something?
But I was about to say, like, you know what, people just often leave you. I always just came to a realization where, like, you came into this world by yourself, you gonna leave by yourself. And we all know that you can't be happy unless you're happy with yourself. And I could be happy by myself, literally alone. And it'd hurt. It'd probably be lonely, but
that's the thing. It's not like the lonely, because I'm a loner at heart. Like I could be in my room by myself for days. It's not the lonely part. It's the part like when you just think about like, damn, like I've been there for you. I've stuck it out with you. There's so many memories. Like, and when there's like, especially when like you're in the shoes of like there's nothing you can do, it's just like, damn. But the next question, how does your family view you? I love my family so much. I honestly do. They annoy me at sometimes. Sometimes I'm mad at them. But I think that my family views me as a strong, independent young king, honestly. Like I work so hard. I'm in school. I'm doing a podcast. I'm working like so many different things. Sometimes it gets hard
Tell
out
the
here.
lie.
Sometimes it gets hard out here, and sometimes you have to say, "Hold on, reevaluate stuff." But like honestly, and like Chris knows me because like we live together every day, so he knows my day to day. But it's like sometimes it's hard, and when the pressure of your whole family is like, "Oh, we just want you to succeed" and all that. But I think success is measured differently by different people. And your success may not be my same success. So I think with my family, I'm at a point where like they really understand me. They see what I'm trying to do in life. They see the goals that I'm trying to reach. And I really do believe that they're proud of me. And yeah, your second question.
Um, would you ever mess with a fan?
Mm.
I think I'd mess with a fan. I've never been one of those. Like, I feel like now there's a category that you could weed them out in, and I feel like if you're a celebrity or you're famous, and you gonna know off rip, like if they're gonna be crazy stalkerish, you gonna know versus who's someone who's just chill and they see past, you know, the lights and the glimmer and everything, and then they see you for you. So I could mess with one.
You know, one of my favorite celebrities in host and YouTuber and lifestyle, like she's just multi-talented, is Adrienne Ballon. And well, hold it now. But her best friend, she actually, well, sorry guys, I'm not looking for best friend. But her best friend, she actually found like she came to her talk show and was an audience member. And like she was her biggest fan. So like they had met and
I don't know how
everything.
you pull that off. Give me the recipe. I promise you, I'll be at Rod concert just waiting.
And like, no, like she had invited her to the show because like she's like what's always writing her on Instagram, all this stuff. And like they really like connected, and now she's her best friend, her business partner, her assistant. And you know,
she got to look come up real quick.
you know, it just like I would always want something like that, but I'm not in the need of a market for a best friend right now. But it just goes to show like life happens and it happens really fast. Like I think I would definitely be in the view of a relationship. Like if I can weed them out really good and like really know that you're not just using me. And that's a hard thing. Like a lot of people use you. And even right now, like I met somebody and we are talking and like the first thing like, oh, when can I come on your podcast? I'm like, what? Like, huh? Like,
what if they just want to come on and they just...
That was the last time I talked to him. And I don't think like I'm no big shot at all, but it was just like, first off, I didn't even tell you that. So how did you know?
She went on the
second,
Instagram.
like it's just like a lot. And it was like the questions, like I'm not gonna dive deep into the conversation, but like it was the questions that like this person was definitely looking for some type of like rise to something. Like definitely looking to like get in somewhere and have a voice. So I mean that was that, but other than that, yeah, mess with somebody. I think it's time for the moment we've all waited for. The juiciest part of this show. My favorite part of this show. Chris, you want to take us away with hot topics?
I shall take y'all away. Let me rearrange my desk real quick.
Not rearrange my desk. Guys, how has your summer been? Like, how has it been since you guys haven't listened to us and got a new show? Let me know in the comment section below.
So we're gonna kick off hot topics with Brittany. You know, free our dog Brittany. She's actually, so I guess her conservatorship is coming to an end.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, her conservatorship with her father is coming to an end. Her lawyers and her are looking for somebody else to take over her conservatorship.
And realistically, like I feel like that would have been the best thing. But then at the same time, I don't know what I'm missing that everyone else seems to get, but she has 2 kids. Mm-hmm. She's grown. She doesn't seem like a flight risk at all. I don't even think she needs a conservatorship. I think she just needs to. She just needs to live her life. Like this has taken up too many years already, and I don't know what the personal strain is inside, but there has to be a strain. Like
it's just straining. For me. It's just like, you know, we have all seen Brittany throughout the years, and even before, you know, as kids when I wasn't able to understand, but like as I grew up and read the stories and looked back at the articles and all that, like we all know Brittany had her hard times. But as somebody who struggles with mental health, I just don't think that that's something to condemn somebody to for the rest of their life. And I think, okay, maybe for a couple of years to get, get on their feet and get their life together, get situated, make sure they're back on the right track. But something that has been going on for this long, I just don't think that it's worth it to have another concern. Like, she's definitely fine. She's living life. Her father, okay, after this one ends, if she's okay with getting another one and like this one being more like a partnership, like we working together, not somebody that can just tell me no and yes, then that's what she wants. But other than that, like, I really don't see the need for her. Give it, free Britney, all that. But if she's okay with it, I'm okay with it. I'm just happy that we really got away from her father and all that. And guys, let this lady live. She just got engaged. And I see a lot of people talking like, oh, she's moving fast. No, this lady has been living her life for the past years. You guys just have been hearing a lot about her recently because y'all nosy and in people business. But these celebrities live life. And one day to them is like 5 years to us because they do so much in one day. They move and do so many different projects and so many different things. And we just move on regular time. Even me, sometimes I'll be moving too fast for one day and doing too many things in one day. But it's just like so much happens and life continues to go, and stop judging people, guys. Just stop judging them.
But all right, so Brittany's father asked judge to end her conservatorship, and there was a new filing, and it stated, if Mrs. Spears wants to terminate the conservatorship and believes she can handle her own life, Mrs. Spears believes that she could get, like, Mr. Spears believes that she should get that chance. And then Britney Spears' attorneys followed up with a response, having exposed his misconduct and improper plan to hold his daughter hostage, trying to extract a multi-million-dollar settlement. Mr. Spears has now effectively surrendered. Her attorney's name is Rosengart. Mm-hmm. And then he further states, there is no settlement to the extent Mr. Spears believes he could avoid accountability and justice, including sitting in front of a sworn deposition and answering other questions led to other discoveries of misconduct, during the years.
I feel like this is something that we've all known and we've all seen coming. Like, there was nothing else that this man literally could have done. Like, there was no more fight that was left. Everything that was said and done was done. And it came down to that. Like, there was nothing left for him to try to get out of. He was losing it. The whole world was on Britney's side. Honestly, if Britney wants to go through with the lawsuit, the depositions, all that, then she can. But if that girl wants to live her life, fire him and just let her live her life.
And I think the only thing she really needed, which was like, she was a big star so young, so the only thing she probably really needed was just, time away.
And that's what it came down to. Britney announced earlier this year that she was not going to go on tour until she was released from her conservatorship. With her being released very soon and getting under a new conservatorship or not, and back to just living her life, newly engaged, this is what I say for Britney. I don't think you should go on tour. I think you should do a residency in Vegas. Probably like a 3 to 5 month residency.
Where does she live now? I think she lives in Nevada.
Yeah,
because she's signed to.
Let me finish this and I'm gonna let you go. Do a little 3 to 5 month residency in Vegas. All of that stuff. Give your fans like a farewell tour or like a break tour, a retirement for right now. After that, get married. Next 5 years, just live life. And if you want to come back after those 5 years, come back. But you honestly deserve to live life. And I know you want to say a thank you to your fans for helping you out with this and sticking by you as they always do. So I think a residency in Vegas is pretty good, pretty understanding. We know people always fly to residencies anyways fly to Vegas anyways to see residencies of their favorite artists. So I think that's the easiest thing. Doesn't have to have you touring around to different states. 3 to 5 months, come there, see Britney, get the experience. She's going to deliver because she's a performer, and go home and live life. I think Britney really does need to enjoy life. She hasn't been able to enjoy life yet because even though she's gotten her mind back, she's also having to battle a father. And I know how it feels to go up against a parent. That is, It's draining, it's aggravating, and it's not a position that anybody should want to be in.
And you know how powerless that must feel too? But her attorney like pretty much ended it with saying that he was calling out Britney's father's legal team for inappropriately exposing a petition to the media. And then also this was brought because, Britney's father wants to call her bluff that she's okay and give her and set her free. But moving on, we got Kim K and Kanye.
Oh my God.
So on Donda, Kanye gave a testimony, and so he was talking about an affair he had on Kim, after the second child. And it was, thoroughly explained by someone in the camp saying that was his testimony, and he wanted it to come to light. Kim was opposed to that, and she didn't want like that embarrassment or that shame to be attached to the family. With North being, his biggest fan, she listens to his music. So I could see where she's coming with from that point. But if you ask me, I think with the Kardashians, in these past few years, especially with everything that's going on with Kanye and, his episodes or maybe stuff in the past, a sex tape, I promise you, Jay, we talked about this. One day, you ain't see mama's sex tape. You ain't see it yet. It's too late. Like with this world we live in now, whatever allegations, whatever is going to come out.
Y'all know I defend the Kardashians to the death of me, and I'm going to do that one more time today. Kanye is at some point in time, you have to take responsibility for your actions. And it simply comes down to that whole testimony, and the whole world seen it. Everybody knows what we're talking about. That's, for one, disrespectful and embarrassing, because it comes down to, it's just like Kim said on the final season of Keeping Up. They made a deal together. It wasn't like no contract. You're married. Like, it's just like they shook on it, however they did it, whatever they did. But they came to an understanding that their life is off limits to the public and off limits to the show because of their children. Kim is the only one out of that whole Kardashian family that has put that rule in place. Their children should not have to live in a world like this until it's time for them to do that. And that's one thing, you never see anything, but except that Mason, Mason liked to tell the business, but except Mason, you never see anything bad come from those kids. You don't ever hear nothing bad or nothing. And yeah, they're still young and they're still enjoying life, but these are kids that grew up in the public eye their whole time. All they know is paparazzi. All they know is to live in these big houses. And at some point, she wants to give them a little bit of normalcy. Kanye, nobody officially knew about this affair until Kanye said something.
Yeah. But he said, like...
I'm going to let you continue, but let me finish this real quick. Nobody knew until he said something. Again, you broke that trust again. And with Kim, where she's at in this point in life, it's like, I can only do but so much. You asked me to keep stuff private. And this was a rule that Kanye came up with. You asked for that. But then you go run for president, make a huge laugh at the political system that we have here in the United States. Then you go and say that I'm trying to lock you up, throw away the key. Everybody who watched the final season of Keeping Up seen all of this. But it's just like, when you ask me to keep stuff private and you go out and you do these things and you say these things, and I think we can all agree the last 5-6 years, Kim has been pretty much a saint since her and Kanye has gotten married. I don't think there's Kim takes pictures. We all know that. We can't, she does that. That's who she is. But Kim has not been negatively impacted that much since she's been in this marriage. She has keeping a clean name. She's done everything he's wanted for her. She even changed the way she dressed because he said it was too revealing. We've seen all this on the show. We've all seen all of this. But it's just like, how much can you give somebody? Again, people have to be able to live for themselves. And when Kim filed for divorce, she was like, she wants the smaller thing. She doesn't want the big glamorous thing. She doesn't need all the cars in the world. She doesn't need the biggest house in the world. She wants the smallest thing. She wants to be able to go to the grocery store. She wants somebody to be able to say, let's go on a date. Let's go bowling. Let's go do this. Even if that means she has to rent out a whole place, okay, but it's just like, do you care about any of that? Kanye is
I would love to do that.
Kanye is so stuck in this mindset of trying to prove everybody wrong and trying to reshape his image. And y'all know I love me some Kanye too, because y'all know I always go to bat for him. But it's just at a point in time, you have to take responsibility for your actions. You have to take responsibility for what you do in life. The question has been posed so many times, do I think that they're going to get back together? And my honest truth is, I don't know. I could see it either way. I could see them getting back together, but also I could really see them just being really good co-parents because above all, they're best friends. And that's why their marriage works so well, because before they even got married, they were best friends. And that's something that I love. And, she's still supporting him to this day. So I think that's something very important to shed light
on. I think Kanye, and that's why he, it was his testimony, and he wanted to come out to the public to kind of take accountability for the things he did and like the sin he did in his marriage. And although he sent out the song, because that's what I was kind of gonna wait for. Like, if the song came out and Kim heard it, was she gonna react? But
Kim's never gonna
before, that's how strong their friendship is. That Kanye sent the whole album to Kim before any edits were made.
Yeah, we all know this. Kim listened to everything, all of that. Kim played it in her car. She played it for us. We've all heard it.
And that was the only thing Kim wanted taken off, but he chose not to because with his religious beliefs.
It has nothing to do with that. And
I'm not going to say that because he's big on...
No, Kanye, there's a difference. And what I'm going to say, and I'm calling out the bullshit, I'm very sorry. But at the end of the day, you have a respect to your marriage. You have respect to your friendships. It's just like, it doesn't matter who you are. That's not just his business to tell. And this is something that I tell you all the time, Chris. You cannot go telling stuff that everybody isn't comfortable saying. And if as your wife, until those papers are signed, that is your wife. Until those papers are signed, she has control. If something happens to you, that's the lady who decides if you live or die. We know that Kim isn't malicious, so she wouldn't let anything bad happen. But to put something out there, that's when there's already fire on her name, when people already said she was stupid for being with you, she stuck around. You want to make sure you're fine and your energy is fine and that you're able to sleep at night. But this woman is at home taking care of all your children, while still trying to become a lawyer, while still being a billionaire and running a business that's worth $1 billion. At some point in time, Kanye has to grow up, and this is real life.
So on another note, Jalen doesn't know if they'll get back together. I think they will, just from seeing Kim's overall, she shows up. Even after the whole divorce thing and everything, she showed up to his album releases dressed up in her wedding dress, and
it wasn't her exact wedding dress.
It wasn't her exact. It was.
Kim made a tweet the other day, and it stood so strong. And it was all over Shade Room when she posted the little quote on Instagram. But then she went right after that and tweeted, "Since when did supporting become something that people didn't understand?" And I think, with this family, we've seen it so many times before. People just thought Courtney and Scott was going to get back together, and Courtney's out here with one of the biggest names in music industry today, Travis Barker. And it's just like, you can co-parent really well. You can know how to be there and support. And that's the thing that Scott and Courtney did. These people aren't normal people. And I look at them and I say, in a lot of ways, this is how I would have my family. We don't have to be supported. You still come to Thanksgiving dinners. You still do all that, all this. We can be in the same room. We can be the best of friends, because at these point in times, these are babies. These are kids. They don't know the difference. They grew up in this world. They grew up with two parents. And I think, honestly, that's what Kim's doing, and that's what she's appreciating right now. That beyond it all, I have kids to support, and her kids will always come first. Will they get together? It's a question, yes or no. I honestly don't know. It could go either way. At the end of the day, I just want Kim to get everything out of life that she wants and that she deserves, because she's worked her ass off to get here. And sex tape or not, the sex tape may have didn't even give her a name, because her father gave her a name. The sex tape may have brought more fame to her, but everything that she's done after that is what's keeping up with the fame. And we really need to move on.
All right. So on another note, WAC 100. Did you see everything that was going on with WAC?
I don't even know who that man is.
You know who that man is.
I don't know.
So WAC allegedly, and I don't know if it's industry or rap or whatever it is, I find it weird that he went on that podcast and said, you know, he has access to a second sex tape.
Mm-hmm.
Then
we've all seen this video.
You know, you see the old joint and then you see the new ones, and then he's like, oh, y'all know I would never do something like that. Or,
then why bring it up?
Right.
Then why bring it up?
Check this out. Some of y'all got to stop taking podcast interviews and some shit serious, man. Y'all know goddamn well that, you know, we wouldn't try to sell Kanye West no motherfucking sex tape or none of that shit. Right?
Let me just cut him off.
It's just,
there, but
Kanye, holla at me, bro.
We don't have to play it. We don't gotta play it.
But how is you acting like? How is you acting like you wasn't trying to sell a sex tape? But why even bring light to it socially or publicly?
That's what pisses me off about this whole thing, is that people don't want to see Kim win. And it's beyond so much more than that, that they just hate to see this girl down. And that's what bothers me. You know what? We got to take a break, but we'll be right back with some more of the Legacy Podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in. And thank you guys for being here for our first episode back. We'll be